Tired of struggling with your essays? In this video, we'll explore how AI tools can help you brainstorm, refine your essays, and ace your assignments like a pro. Essay writing can be really tough. As an athlete, I can sympathize with anyone who has these extracurricular activities on top of all their studies. And then when you add in, sometimes you're getting writer's block, maybe you have an unclear structure, you're unsure about deadlines, things along those lines. It is great to have someone in your corner helping you out, and that is where AI tools come in. You can work smarter, not harder. Let's dive into how they can help you succeed. AI tools are super useful to help you brainstorm and write out some essays and just get an idea of how you tackle one of these problems. For example, I have an essay to write about the economic effects of the Cold War on both the Soviet Union and the United States. So I can have AI lay out an entire plan. I could follow this guideline to help write a fantastic essay. So when I ask AI to give me an outline for this, it quickly spits out a full summary of how it thinks I should write this essay. So in this case, I want to start with the economic effects on the US, go down these points, knock out a bunch of them. Then in paragraph 2, I'll focus more on the Soviet Union and end with contrasting the outcomes of both, because obviously the US ended up a little bit better than the Soviet Union because they are still up and running to this day. Once you've written this essay, then you can take it, copy and paste it, and AI tools can also help you refine it. So here I can paste my text in and humanize it here. When that's all said and done, I can then copy and paste this back in, and I will have some better formulated sentences and some better transitions, things along those lines. It becomes a lot simpler to read, sounds much better. Finally, AI can also help you refine your grammar and your sentence structure, can help remove some repetitions and add some better transitions. So we will copy and paste this once again, and then check for some grammar errors as well. We can just go through and take some of these suggestions here, removing a few spaces that we had messed up, things along those lines, and add in some of these better options, some spelling errors, things along those lines, and then we can once again put that back in to our old essay, and it just keeps getting better and better thanks to the help of AI tools. It really refines the editing process for us. It helps us to go quicker, work smarter, not harder. And once again, let's do one last check here. We can copy and paste this entire essay. Give me 5 sentences that could use improvement. And it will spit out some suggestions for us that we can either take or decide to skip, but either way, it is always helpful to have someone looking over your shoulder helping you out. Just like checking in with someone your age, AI is just a great tool to help refine your essays, make them a little bit better, tighten up some of those small details that need fixed, and in the end, hopefully get a better grade. So here, we can go back and find this sentence, big government spending on defense and military technology. Might as well bring this improved sentence over, find that sentence right here, paste the new one in, easy as that. We can go back and do that with all of our sentences that it suggests. All right, so now we have these essays side by side. We can just take a look at what happened when we went through some of these AI tools and refined our essay and helped make it a little bit better. So we'll go sentence by sentence here, knock out a few of the best ones. The Cold War had profound economic impacts on both the United States and the Soviet Union, as well as on the global economy. Here, after going through about 4 different tools, the Cold War came with deep economic consequences at home for both the United States and the Soviet Union, and it shaped the global economy. Sounds a lot more natural. I feel like this one's a little bit chunky, a little bit choppy, and this one sounds better, more refined. And then we'll just skip ahead to this conclusion sentence here. However, the Cold War also led to significant financial strain as the U.S. sought to contain communism worldwide, leading to costly interventions in regions like Vietnam and Korea, which drained national resources. All right, that's a bit long, a little drawn out. Not quite a run-on, but getting close to it. However, efforts to contain communism worldwide led to massive financial burden, as costly U.S. military interventions in Vietnam and Korea drained natural resources. So I feel like this one sort of restructured, flipped some things around, and in the end, that became a lot better to read and a lot simpler, actually, because you'll notice this one, I think in the end, is actually shorter than this one. Let's get a word count on them. So yeah, in the end, this one written with these AI tools helped shrink it down by 10 words, which isn't a whole lot, but it's significant when you're looking at an essay that's only 250 words. It's a lot easier for someone to read when it's shorter, more refined, and easier to understand. So with some of these AI tools, you can really help turn your essay from being overly complicated to being easier to read. So let's just take a look at this last sentence. Additionally, the Cold War led to economic dependencies between the US and its allies, as well as the Soviet bloc and its satellite states, reinforcing economic polarization that would persist throughout the second half of the 20th century. Now here, about the same length. Furthermore, the Cold War created economic dependencies between the US and its allies, as well as between the Soviet bloc and its satellite states, reinforcing economic polarization well into the late 20th century. So you'll notice that a lot of that actually stayed the same. AI doesn't change everything, it keeps it in your style, your tone, but it just refines some of these final details here. So this last chunk that would persist throughout the second half of the 20th century. Here, it just goes with well into the late 20th century. Rather than making things more complicated than they have to be, simplifies it down, makes it easier to understand for the reader. Life is busy. I get it. I completely understand. And it is great to have AI in your corner to help you out when you're struggling to meet those tough deadlines or you're struggling to think up some ideas for the assignment. Now, AI tools can't do the thinking for you, but they can really help you along in the process. Whether you need help brainstorming, refining your essays, editing, fixing up your grammar, no matter what it is, there is an AI tool to help you along the way. So why don't you try them out now and see how you can transform your essays and become the best student possible?